Hello, everybody. Welcome to the War Report. My name is Quan. You may also know me as Quan. You may also know me as the Comeback Spot on Twitter. I know you're expecting, Cyrus to be here, but my man is on an undisclosed location as it is his birthday. And first and foremost, let me just say happy birthday to Cyrus. Thank you for bringing me on this journey, this platform to speak with you. And you're a hardworking dude, so enjoy your time, man. But enough about Cyrus because it ain't about him tonight. Who it is about? We got a rewriters room crossover episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My guy Chan. Chan, talk to him. What's up, man?
What's going on, people? Chann, aka Grandpa Chann, aka McDreamy. I think a lot of people do dog out Kurt Angle's work with the Shield, but that's really what I feel like right now. Having to step in, be that third part of the service power bomb, to complete the Shield. Even if I don't really get the interest, I'm a little bit too excited to be there. I'm going to do my best tonight, so that's what I'm hoping for.
You got the big old Kool-Aid smile on your face coming down the
Yeah.
stairs.
Make a wish, kid. Just happy to
Right?
be here.
Just happy to be here. I'm happy you're here too, because otherwise I would have to do this solo. Because we asked Justin to come on. He's like, nope.
No.
He's like, I ain't watching that shit.
Saw that MMA match. He said, I'm good.
Oh shoot. Oh man. So what's been going on with you, man? How's it been going?
It's been good, been finally, getting back out to the world. WWE's going back on tour, but as am I. So, hitting all my old hot spots, seeing people, cookout season, that type of thing. It's been good.
Absolutely, bro. I'm on the same wave right now. I'm outside.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not even an outside kind of guy, but after the last year we had,
Gotta go.
I'm outside, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
It's no rules, man. It's gonna be a nasty summer, man.
It's a nasty summer. I'm here for it. You know what I mean?
Sir.
But let's get to the business real quick. Let's get in the trenches real quick.
Bet.
So I was looking up news. I didn't see too much AEW news, but I did see a couple of little quick tidbits going on with NXT. First up, from a Fightful report earlier today, looks like they're trying to put more focus on the NXT Cruiserweight division. The direct quote is, in speaking with many in NXT and the Performance Center, there has been a long working plan for NXT to emphasize the Cruiserweight division and the title more on their programming. NXT officials have been high on Kushida ever since he came in, as has the roster around him. We saw it start with Kyle O'Reilly, but we're told to expect NXT to integrate more storyline, some bigger names and angles into the Cruiserweight division, especially this summer. I mean, we saw it tonight on the main event of NXT. And this isn't the first time he's been in the main event of the show, or just the Cruiserweight division in general. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's a natural response to like what we saw with a lot of the layoffs. Like obviously, I'm not gonna get into like who should have their job, who shouldn't keep their job, that type of thing. But you did see a lot of stuff being like you're getting rid of all this like top tier talent, and yet you're keeping all these cruiserweights. So like basically, you have to do something with them. So I'm not surprised they're like, okay, this is our shot. We're kind of trimming the roster, and NXT cruiserweight like division does have like a lot of popping guys. Like 205 Live isn't like something I watch on a religious basis. I'm not gonna cap like that. Like I don't know who that person is, but I'm not gonna cap like that. But you see, Santos Escobar in a match, like he can go. Like you see Cedric, you see Ali, you see these guys come up and like they can really work. So it's not surprising they get a big shot. I will be surprised. I mean, like I said, we saw some of it tonight, and I think what they did tonight makes sense. But like how high they let this get? Like, do you let someone like Finn get in this division, where like are you just gonna cap it at like someone almost like mid cardish?
Yeah, like mid card.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I wonder if they're trying to get more eyes on 205 Live, because I feel like 205 Live hasn't been must watch. I'm not even sure if the Cruiserweight champion even on the show.
No,
he's so not. Like, what's even the point of the show? I don't want to watch Tony Nese and Arya Daivari wrestle every week. What am I supposed to do with that? I love Kushida. I've been a big fan of Kushida for a long time, and if it gets him on TV, cool with me. Because it was weird. Because you remember, like when he first signed, he had a lot of like stop start. He got hurt.
Yeah, he would
then,
lose.
Like they just didn't seem to know what to do with him.
Right.
And I think you put that cruiserweight, championship on that kind of pedestal, similar to North American Championship. Now you got something for like, hey, like you said, it could be anybody. You can throw Pete Dunne in there if you wanted
Adam
to.
Cole,
Gargano. Like you got guys that are under 205 pounds, and they want to have a bang of Kushida. You know what I mean?
It is funny how like people make fun of NXT for like that, like their top tier guys are like all these small guys, and now it's like, well, they can do the cruiserweight championship. It was like, no. Like they're small, but they're not doing that. Like,
they're not cruiserweight. Even though Adam Cole probably like 170 pounds.
Yeah, he'd probably have to gain weight to like make the cut.
Yeah, they make the minimum weight. Oh man. Right. In other news, Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed on main event recording on at the Monday show.
Free us from the shackles of Karrion Kross, bro. Just free us, bro. Please free us, dog.
It's interesting. I wonder if that was like a little tryout. I don't know. Maybe if Vince was there and wanted to see those two guys go. I feel like Karrion Kross would probably fare better on the main roster.
Definitely. 100%.
But it's weird because like in NXT, the way they book him like he's Brock Lesnar, but he's not the size of Brock Lesnar.
And they book him like he's Brock Lesnar, but they also script everyone's promos like he's Heath Slater. So it's like you can't be Brock Lesnar and have everyone dog walk you every time they get on the mic. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It's such a strange. Me and Cyrus have gone over this whole weird Karrion Kross conundrum for a while now, and it's just like it's weird. I don't want to see him, bro. I don't want him on my TV.
He's just not like exciting. Like he's not like you say, he's not vicious enough to be like young Brock Lesnar, but he's also not like physically imposing to be like, Braun Strowman, which is, I think if he goes to the main roster, he's got to eat those minutes. Like someone's got to eat those like big guy monster, minutes, especially because the Fiend's not really around right now too. So like, I do think he has much more of a role on the main roster, but I don't really think I don't think it's ever going to pop off the way, they want it to. Like, I think you undercut him with just all these promos at this point where it's like, I can't take him seriously unless he like legitimately like snaps Adam Cole's neck at this point. I just can't take it. I can never take this man seriously. Yeah. Like Finn Balor did the finger guns to his forehead. Adam Cole threw a water bottle at his wife. He didn't even do nothing. They do nothing to him.
They do a damn thing. Man,
happy for Bronson Reed though. I mean, good for him.
Yeah, happy for Reed. It's very interesting. I wonder if they do, bring him up to the main roster as in Cross. Did he come up with the belt? Did he do the kind of the Kevin Owens type of deal where they just fuck it, let's bring him up even if he got the belt, or they take it off of him? And looking at what we saw on NXT tonight, is Gargano that guy? Actually, you know what? We're gonna save that for NXT talk. We're gonna save that. So let me get to the next bit of news. This is something very nice little surprise. I mean, for some people, I think it wasn't this person's first time speaking about it, but Tony Storm comes out as a part of the LGBT community on the NXT Instagram story. So first of all, I want to say congrats. And I think, we haven't really talked about Pride so much on this show, or just Pride month of June, if anybody doesn't know. And I just think it's nice to see where us society in America, how we've, we still got a road to fight, but it's just really nice to see the LGBT community becoming more accepted in the workplace, especially in such the wrestling. The wrestling culture has been pretty toxic for a long time.
Wrestling fandom is many things. Progressive is not one of them.
I'm not even talking about the fandom. I'm talking about like just even the backstage, how it used to be.
Oh yeah.
I know they got a Dark Side of the Ring with Chris Kanyon coming up. And, there's the rumors and stories about that, about how he got treated because he was gay, actively out. So it's just really cool. Like NXT roster, I saw like an image earlier on Twitter, like how many like members of the like open members of the LGBT community were out in just the NXT roster alone. You know, we got Jake Atlas. Who else is down there? I'm thinking like Shayna Baszler, but she's not even down there no more. But either way, it's mad. Right. It's a lot of people. I think that's amazing to see. Even AEW, you got Sonny Kiss down there, Anthony Bowens, Nyla Rose. So like, it's just so cool to see it open. And you know what the best part about it too is like, it's not their gimmick that they're a part of the LGBT community. You know, they're not like, you know, back in the day, they used to make
Billy and Chuck.
Yeah, Billy and Chuck. Or like how they used to make a little offhanded Pat Patterson jokes all the time.
Right.
But like, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
It's like, I think the last part's the biggest thing where it's like with any type of like diversity and inclusion type thing, it's like, it's okay, it's cool. It's like, okay, this is like the first gay person. Like that's their whole thing is that they're gay. But it's also nice because it's like, oh yeah, it's a big deal, but it's not this like massive story. It's like, yeah, Toni Storm comes out. It's like, okay, we're all happy for it. And then like we go on to other things. It's not like this, you know, week-long saga of like people getting on the WWE Instagram being like what it means that Toni Storm is gay to them. Like it's also not that now. Because that also becomes very contrived, especially like you said, with where we know wrestling has come from. It's like, let's not, you know, act like did none of this stuff ever happen. Like we were so super inclusive. Like we know how y'all did China. Like we know. Like let's not do that right now. Like so I think that's dope that she come out and then, you know, like obviously it seems like the locker room's really receptive to it. You know, that's always great and shit too.
I'm gonna be more I want to see same thing. I feel like the NFL. I saw a homeboy from the Raiders. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Nassib.
Nassib. He came out. I want to see one of these days one like a really big like main event guy comes out. You know what I mean? And
is that what they say about Kenny Omega?
I don't want to talk on that man's sexual. I don't know if he ever speak on that. I don't know if he ever.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I thought he alluded to it. That's why I thought it was.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever outright said what his sexuality is, but hey, you know what I mean? That'd be cool.
That'd be dope.
That'd be dope.
Because he can go. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that could be interesting because, like, I know I said there's a lot of people like, in NXT or WWE that are openly LGBT, but almost all of them are women. And I'm just thinking, like, just statistics wise, there's no way that none of the other men in that company are you know, either gay or bisexual or whatever. So I mean, it should be interesting. I hope more people come out. I hope this is such a precedent in the WWE where people are comfortable enough to even do it. But
for sure.
Congrats to Tony. Shout out to all the LGBT. You know, I'm rocking with y'all. The whole RNC rocking with y'all. Another congrats goes out to Cody and Brandy. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast last week, but they had a baby girl, Liberty.
America's baby. America's baby.
America's baby. Hey, you know what? I'm
happy for you, man.
I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I'm happy for you.
Girl, dad, new life in the world came.
You know what I mean? The best feeling, man.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I got for news, man. We can get right to
I was slow.
Yeah, slow. It was a slow week. I was shout out to Rich with the Daily Smart because I was trying to go through there and see if I seen anything. I'm gonna plug the app real quick. It's nice because you can put little filters in and like you can go, you can see what AEW does. Let's go through there real quick. But fuck it to AEW, man.
With Hangman Adam Page in the Dark Order, and Adam, Team Taz has challenged you to a match against Powerhouse Hobbs on next week's Dynamite. Special Saturday Night Dynamite. Do you accept?
Hobbs almost beat and myself by himself, so I think it's more than earned. So sure, I accept. But honestly, right now I'm with good friends. I got cold beer, and that's all I'm worried about.
Well, something else you may be interested in is on next week's Saturday Night Dynamite. It's Jungle Boy against Kenny Omega for the AEW World Title as the number 2 ranked men's single competitor. This really affects you as well.
Well, while I'm in a good mood, I want to mention John. John's shoulder's nearly healed. He'll be back in action real soon. I want to mention 10. 10 won the main event on.
All right. So, looks like we got ourselves a cage match. Jake Hager, Wardlow in the MMA cage. I'm going to keep it a stack with you, bro. I'm going to keep it a stack. I didn't hate this. I thought I would look. So I'm going to go off. First of all, I didn't watch AEW live. I have not watched any of these episodes live. I'm not watching our Friday night. I'm not doing it. I told y'all I'm outside. I'm not watching that on a Friday night. So I just saw like little clips on Twitter or whatever. I didn't watch AEW until literally last night. I finished it like a couple hours before this show. So I was just seeing clips in this here and that. I'm like, I saw some shit and I was like, I saw this man do a Hurricane Rana. I was like, okay, what kind of nonsense they doing on this MMA fight? But when I actually watched the whole thing, I was like, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
I wasn't even mad at it. I loved the way they presented it. The camera angles, it felt like, like it's like the same kind of camera angles they would do for like UFC or something like that. I like the little theme they had. Like the first round was like all stand up, and then the second round was like kind of
grappling and shit.
All grappling and groundwork. That's when Hager got the advantage. Yeah, you know what? It was pretty fun. How do you feel about the match?
I just to give a little background on myself. I am like purely in wrestling for the entertainment. Like I'm here to be entertained. I will go along with any kind of silly nonsense Thanksgiving turkey fight. If it's entertaining, I'll watch it. So that's where I'm coming from. And I think the way I feel about this is the way I feel about most AEW stuff is that you can clearly tell that like creatives and wrestlers are the one who push a lot of their stuff because their presentation for a lot of their stuff is really good. Like the ideas, even like the set, how the entrances work, like with the two different sides, or how they talk about like the weights and like their records. Like they have these really good presentations, but they always miss the big spots. Like it'll start off so good. You see the ideas there, but you can also see where they miss a little bit of like the context that like an older wrestling company has, or like the nuts and bolts of things. Like one of the big moments in the match is this like Superman punch off the cage, and it just doesn't connect the way you would want it to for it to really be a moment.
Yeah.
And then I think another thing that really like kind of undersold, didn't really think through, is that like MMA, unless you're watching like a lot of striking, which you're obviously not going to do because this is a wrestling match, like it's still the end of the day is wrestling.
Yeah.
Is kind of boring. Like the more fun version of MMA is wrestling, where they do all the flipping and stuff. So at a certain point, it's like, okay, like I really don't want to watch Wardlow and Jake Hager like lean on each other for 2 minutes. Like it's like, come on, guys, let's get to the fun stuff. That's why they were doing like Hurricane Runs and power bombs at the end of it. It's like, this is what we really want to watch. And so like by the time it picked up, I liked that, but it was just like, all right, guys, like.
Yeah,
it feels like AEW can just get kind of indulgent with stuff where it's like, I'm sure someone had this idea, but like someone's got to be like, let's reel some of this stuff in because we're just doing a lot. Like it was a lot.
They just be doing stuff sometimes just to do stuff. There's no rhyme or reason.
Just fuck it. Let's try it.
Let's try it. I was gonna say, they look kind of gassed after the first round. Both of them look kind of gassed. I was like, yo, are they good?
Also, another two things. First off, when Wardlow enters first, I'm sorry, you cannot have the first thing you say about him is that, oh, he has no MMA experience. It's like, well, then why is he in this?
Word.
Like, that was the first thing they say. And then they show Jack Hager's opponents, and they're guys who work at AutoZone. They're just like slubby dudes. I'm like, cut this out. Like, I don't take either of them seriously. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're indulging too much. You're not thinking past like Jack Hager being like, I want to show off what I can do. Like, okay, Jack, we get it, but like, don't do this.
You know what else was kind of weird about it too? Because like they were throwing strikes, but they were selling it like wrestling punches.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that shit, it was so weird. I'm like, that is so weird. Cause it looked weird. Cause it looked like they were throwing shoot punches, but then they were like reacting like they were in the opera or something. I don't know, but like with all that being said, I did have fun watching the match. It's something different, especially with these recent, weekend shows. They've been kind of a little lackluster. Yeah, you can tell they're definitely just phoning it in until it's time to go on the road. So after the match is over, it looks like they're gonna have a little fist bump of respect or whatever. You know how it go after an MMA fight. And then MJF jumps in, and then Jericho jumps in. They start fighting. It's a 2-on-1 on Jericho. Then Sammy Guevara comes out. I might have missed something, but either way, at the end, it was
like Ty Dillinger was there too.
Yeah,
like everything with AEW. There's by the end of it, there's 20 people, and it's like okay.
In the ring. And my guy D Malenko, who's been on TV maybe twice out of nowhere, he pull up, he get dropped on his shit.
That is what MJF is good at his job. MJF is good at being a bad guy.
All right, so I'm not a big fan of MJF. I'm gonna be honest with you. I
think he's hilarious. I love it.
I think he's like, I feel like if I was like 16, I would love MJF. But like 30-year-old me, I think he's like too edgy. Like he tries to be too edgy, and it's just like it kind of I don't know. And like I think his in-ring work is kind of lacking. But you know it's crazy though, because like me and Cyrus recently watched All In.
Yeah.
He has a match against who the hell does he have a match against? I forgot. He had a match against somebody, and it was like he looked really good. I was like, how come he doesn't wrestle like that in AEW at all? Like it's like a completely different style. He's like actually working.
Right.
And I think if he did more of that instead of trying to do like mostly character work, I think I would probably like him a little bit more. But I mean, I see the appeal. I just don't think MJF is really for me. But, you know.
He's not for everybody. I think also like to me, I think what stands about him is that he like, I think, and this is, you know, I'm not like some AEW hater, so I don't want to come off that way, but like a lot of the guys in AEW, I almost like aren't in on the joke. He at least seems like, oh, I understand, like we're all kind of douchebags here, and I'm just kind of gonna lean into it. Where some of them, where it's like, I don't know if like Sammy Guevara knows that like people are sometimes laughing at him, not with him. Like it's like I don't know if you're in on the joke that like we are all like. I know Cody's not. Like Cody has no awareness.
Cody is in his own world, boy.
He has no idea how any of this stuff. We can talk about that. That Brock Anderson. I don't know where we're going with this, big dog. I don't know what favor you owe this man, but like, please pay it off soon, dog.
Let's talk about it now, man. Fuck it. I've already stated I think this man is swaggerless. I'm talking about Brock Anderson. Look, I don't know how many matches he's had previous to this, but it shows he hasn't had much experience. He looked kind of lost out there, boy. I mean, thankfully he was with some workers who have experience. QT Marshall, he's been wrestling for a long time.
Right.
Solo, I think he's been wrestling for a decent amount of time, decent enough to carry somebody,
carry a newbie,
yeah. And Cody, he's also been wrestling for a long time. So I mean, that's got it. I mean, for Brock Anderson, I know I'm making fun of him because he's swaggerless. He is the man looks like he's 35.
The gear,
he's like 20.
The gear was so off. I was like, now Cody, you got all these bells and whistles and fringes and shit on your gear. You couldn't throw him nothing.
But he's definitely going for the Anderson look. Like, you know what I mean? Just kind of no frill, plain. Like, I'm gonna beat your ass. But you don't have. But it's crazy because he looks like Arn Anderson, but he doesn't look like Arn Anderson. So like. He's not intimidating. He's like this goofy looking dude, and
hey, I'm sure it was intimidating in the 1970s. It's just not intimidating now. It's just like you just don't. It's not scary anymore.
Yeah, you're balding at 22. Like I don't know.
Had that polo on with the khakis and boat shoes. I'm like, is it Sig Pie? Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing, bro? It's how do you feel about the match though altogether? Did you?
Like I said, I think, and this is an unpopular opinion, I really like, and this is like another thing about myself, I am a true like champion of the mid card. Like I love a 6-person intercontinental title ladder match. Like it just gets me going. So I really do. I do wish the best for Cody, and I like some of his like look and like what his gimmick could be if again reined in with less of him. And so I like the match, and I like kind of the, how he was kind of the story of like Brock doesn't know what he's doing, and I'm having to like literally correct him on like, no, guard this side, like don't get back to the corner, that kind of stuff.
I do like that.
That was actually interesting. It's like, okay, yeah, because legitimately this person would not have any idea what he's doing. But, and again, with all AEW matches, the faction wars just get tiresome after a while. It's like, how many times are we going to do this Factory versus Nightmare Foundation thing? And then it's going to be the Factory versus the Hardy family office. And it's going to be the Factory versus, it's like, at a certain point, I kind of just want to break free of like me and 7 other people versus you and 7 other people. And like every match has like Cody Rhodes with this person, that person, that person, that person.
It's going to lead to it. You know what it's going to lead to? It's going to lead to a big old brawl or a beatdown every angle. That's one of my things that really bother me at Dynamite is that they do it a lot. The thing that bothers me a lot is the roll-up finishes or just the non-finishes.
Yep.
The thing about AEW that bothers me is this shit right here. They do it all. It's like it's their crutch, and it drives me crazy. Speaking of Matt Hardy family, I was watching AEW. I watched Elevation.
Dark Elevation?
Yeah, I watch it because like I'll have it on when I work from home, so like I'll have it on in the background. The Matt Hardy family got like 20 niggas in it though. That has to be the biggest. There's so many dudes in that fucking stable.
And there's no reason for them to be together. There's no like connecting factor.
There's a bunch of guys.
Bro, bro.
Yeah,
That's a lot of the factions. It's just like we throw a name on it and then just we need a tag team, a solo wrestler, maybe a woman, and then maybe another big guy. It's like
but
send it off.
Yeah. Congrats to Brock Anderson for having a successful TV debut. He needs work, but he has potential. I mean, he's Arn Anderson's kid. I mean,
yeah.
Look, you're Arn Anderson's kid. You be all right.
You get a look.
Right. Yeah.
Look how far I got Cody.
Yeah, you ain't saying lie.
He got his own company behind it.
You ain't lying about that one.
Anything is possible through nepotism, my guy. I believe in you, Brock.
All right, where we at here? Let's see.
Darby.
What else happened on the Darby Allin, Village Idiot. What's wrong with this dude?
Who you trying to prove?
Yeah.
Trying to prove?
What do you gain from this?
Sting was like, all right, I guess I won't help you. Like, okay, weirdo.
I told Cyrus last week. I said he pulled a Joe Budden. He said, "Yo, take a couple episodes off, bro. I got it from here. Look, she said I got it from here, bro." And he's failing, just like how Joe Budden's doing. So it kind of evened out.
Mirrors him.
They mirrored him. You know what? When I was watching this match, I was so afraid they were gonna let because another thing I don't want to complain about WWE all show. But usually I complain about AEW all show, so I switch it up. Yeah. So I hate when WWE books a handicap match and then the handicap person wins the match. It drives me crazy.
If this was Daniel Bryan, he's winning that match.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan is getting this done.
I hate when WWE does that. So I was kind of concerned with because Darby only lost what?
Like twice. I think they had his record. Yeah, it was 14-2 or something.
Yeah, he's only lost like twice this year. I'm like, are they gonna have him win this match? Because that little
when he zip tied this dude's legs, I was like,
yeah, it's over. Yeah, I was like, it's
over. This is crazy. You're going for
it. Darby.
It's also funny.
Go ahead, bro.
I say it's also funny because just Darby physically is so much smaller than both of them.
Yeah,
and it's like at a certain point, you just can't. Like he just cannot take on two guys. Even though I will say, Men of the Year, top 5 worst tag team names I've literally ever heard. That's up there with like the Viking Experience. Like it's like, what is Men of the Year? Like what does that mean? I don't even know. Like what? So next year it's not their name. Like I don't. What does that mean?
They're the Men of the Year, man.
Go back to SoCal Uncensored. Like just go do that again. That was cool.
How do you feel about them? So I don't know much about Ethan Page as much as I know Scorpio Sky. I hate their outfits.
Yeah, their outfits are stupid, and I just don't understand. Kind of like you said with the Hardy Family, I was like, why are they a tag team? It's kind of like when Cesaro left Sheamus and then joined Shinsuke and Sammy. It's like, well, you could just stay with Sheamus for all this. Like, what's the difference like between you and this other random person? I just have no attachment.
It was weird too because remember they had Scorpio win that ladder match for like the ladder, the giant Cheerio, and then they just were like, we're throwing a tag team, I guess. That was really weird.
Yeah, it's like he was so happy. It was like,
after he just left the tag team.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's one of those things that don't get talked about, but
it's also with like AEW's tag team division. There's like the inevitability of like, oh, I know they're not going to beat the Young Bucks, so like, why do I care anymore? Like, there's only like 2 tag teams that the Young Bucks are like willing to lose to for those titles. So it's like. All these other kind of random tag teams, it's like I know they're not going to do anything for a while, so why do I need to invest?
Are we sure? Because I haven't seen the Young Bucks lose in about 3 months. When's the last time the Young Bucks lost a damn match? Outside
that's
of
what I'm saying.
Brandon Cutler getting pinned.
That's what I'm saying. There's like 2 teams they'll lose to. They may lose to the Revival, FTR, maybe, like, and then they maybe will lose to like Kenny and Hangman Page or something like that. Like they're not going to lose to Private Party. That's just not going to happen. So like,
not again.
Not again. Yeah.
All right, we're not doing that again.
Gave you one.
Yeah. So I don't know where Men of the Year go from here. I guess the feud keeps going. I don't know what else could they do.
I'm sure they'll find some way to have Sting have a one-on-one match with probably Scorpio Sky because like that's the one thing he hasn't done is actually wrestle by himself. And I think Scorpio Sky is good enough wrestle that he won't kill him. So
yeah, that's fair.
That's probably where that would go. You need to get Sting into like something bigger though, because like Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page feel a little brow after a while. It's like Okay, Taz was kind of interesting, but this is less interesting than that. Like we need to be going up with Sting and Darby Allin, not down. Like Darby Allin is clearly one of their top stars. Like he's as soon as you see him, like the gimmick, the entrance, the look, everything, moveset, fire. Like he's crazy. Like
I bet you right now. So when AEW goes back on the road in July next week, I guess the first person that's going to come out is either going to be Darby or Hangman, and those two are probably going to get the biggest ovations by far.
Definitely.
But I'm definitely putting that money on that either Hangman going to come out first or Darby's coming out first.
Yep.
To get that crowd, or Cody. It might be Cody though.
It'll be Cody involved in one of those storylines. It'll be Hangman and Cody.
It'll be Cody versus Darby again, like the first episode. Bring it back. All right.
Put myself over.
Yeah. Kazarian, Kingston, and Pentagon versus Matt Jackson and the Good Brothers. Was there a reason Nick Jackson wasn't in this match? I don't understand what happened.
It again, like we're talking about, like the three people who are not all friends, like Kazarian, Eddie Kingston, and Penta. I'm not saying the whole name; it's too much.
I call him Pentagon. I'm not calling him
all three of them were like also in like separate tag teams. So it's like, why aren't they with their tag partners? Like Frankie Kazarian was just with Scorpio Sky. Why is he now with Eddie Kingston, who was just with John Moxley? Like, why are they all separated?
Well, Kazarian is the elite hunter, as he says he is. Kingston, I think Pac and Ray Phoenix are dead. Moxley's
dead. Yeah, I think Pac is dead.
Moxley's home being a family man. So like, fuck it. Everybody partners going. We might want to put them all together.
It felt so B-team, bitch. It felt so like this is like the JV squad of this feud. Like there's the varsity guys, and this is everyone else who's still here to stay on.
Definitely the JV squad. The Good Brothers, they haven't wrestled on Dynamite in a minute. I'm not even sure if they even wrestle on Impact. Do they wrestle at all?
I feel so like, while I'm sure this is actually doing a lot for Impact, because I've never ever talked about Impact as much as I am right now, it's gotta hurt a little bit too how much they have to hold themselves out to AEW. Like they really gotta like bend the knee and let Kenny walk back and forth between the shows. Let the Good Brothers like just be around and just like and pay them to be on AEW. Like that's gotta hurt a little bit, because they were wrestling in like, what's his name? Luke Gallows now has like a dangly earring and like a goatee that's braided. I was like, they just do anything. I guess.
They just do whatever they want.
Whatever they want now. Yeah, Matt Jackson doing Shawn Michaels impersonate. It was tiresome.
I did like the match though. I like the match.
Oh, they're always good matches. They're always great wrestlers. It's the other stuff you have to deal with. Like, Penta don't have bad matches. Like
I'm very much against the Good Brothers. I think they both stink. I've been saying that for a long time. I'm very anti-Good Brothers. I don't care Carl Anderson was in the fucking G1 2013 finals. I don't give a fuck. He stinks. Gallows stinks. I like the Bucks. They could be a little obnoxious sometimes, but I do like the Bucks. Pentagon. You know what you're gonna get with Pentagon, because it's like there's no real psychology. He just doing shit.
And I'm ready to die for this shit tonight.
He owns it. I'm completely fine with that. I don't have a problem with you being a fucking spot monkey, just doing whatever the fuck. If you own it, you know what I mean. He owns it,
right?
Kazarian looked fantastic in this match. I often forget how good he is. He's really good. He's been doing it for a long time. Is Daniels retired? Is Christopher Daniels like done?
I don't know. I assume if he's not. I mean, I assume if you're not around that you're like choosing to not be around at this point, because like AEW will let anyone wrestle. So I assume you're just choosing to not be around. Yeah. I really don't know. I just think it was like definitely like a really good match. I like the ending. I was kind of like really like with the aerosol can, like that was kind of weak. But the Good Brothers, to your point, are also a classic case of like kind of like DeAndre Jordan with like the Nets, where it's like I just have really good friends. Like I have friends who are really good at this, and so like I get put in certain opportunities that like I maybe don't deserve. Like he's definitely, because you're friends with Finn and AJ, you got some looks at like what's really the difference between like you guys and Enzo and Cass. Like what's really the appreciable difference.
I won't go that far. Carl Anderson is not Enzo Amore.
I'm joking.
I'll give Carl Anderson a little bit of credit. But no, I feel you though. But that's funny. Oh man, let's get these quick hits real quick. What the hell? What other stuff happened? Let me look at my little notes.
Mr. I got 3 jobs, team Taz / announcer / executive.
Not the Taz.
Another faction. He's
Team Taz.
Another 2 factions, I guess. The Dark Order is Hangman Page is now the leader of, since he's telling them what to do. He's got to face Powerhouse Hobbs next week, which I'm sure will be a great match. I'm sure they have a good match, but it is just, again, the same thing of like, I have 4 guys, you got 4 guys. We're gonna see what different combinations will wrestle until some big blow off.
Yeah. There's turmoil in Team Taz. We don't know where Brian Cage is at. I don't know. I'm kind of interested what they do with him. If they're gonna turn him face, but like, where does he go? Is he like, would he be like up next against Kenny? Which I wouldn't even be mad at, honestly.
Yeah, at this point, that's the only place to go, because I think it seems like Miro's got the whole like
the mid-card
Kip Saban like thing going on right now. He's not about to drop that for a minute.
And for some reason, I feel like they don't want to pull the trigger on Hangman yet to beat Kenny. For some reason,
they've been downplaying him since he got to the company. They have not made him nearly as big of a star as you would have thought. Like, he's like hasn't even sniffed any title picture. Like, he had the tag titles with Kenny, but then like after that, it's been kind of like one-offs and like good matches, but nothing like massive storyline.
Like, they want to keep him around, but they don't want to pull that trigger just yet. I don't know exactly what they're waiting for, but we'll see how this kind of turns out.
Don't waste it, though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know how many years he got on his contract, but
don't waste it, though.
Triple H might be calling. Might send that text.
Man. He said, "We got horses down here, man. We got lots of horses down here. You want to ride on a horse? Get you a giant horse for WrestleMania."
Speaking of NXT, former NXT worker Cesar Bononi against Orange Cassidy. I don't really have any thoughts on this match. It was just a match that happened.
Every Orange Cassidy match is like so funny. Like, you just like watch. It's like, this guy has really like committed to this bit. Like, there's like the thing with it. It's like what makes it great is kind of what caps it off. Where it's like you really can't go anywhere. Like, you maybe get like one big Orange Cassidy moment, but like you don't want him as your champion for a year. Like, that'd be a bit much.
I was gonna ask you that. Do you think he'd ever be AEW champion? Do you go Mick Foley him and give him like a little run?
Yeah, maybe I could see him getting like whatever AEW's equivalent to like Money in the Bank, where like he wins, has his big moment, then the next night on Dynamite he loses to fucking Cody or something. But like, I could see it for the moment because the fans would legitimately destroy the stadium, and AEW is good for like, if people want something, we give it to you. We're not gonna play around with it. Like, y'all want to stand, you get your stand, bro.
They live for fan service, even to a point where it's a fault sometimes. Where like you probably should have did that.
Yeah, and so they try it for sure.
Yeah. What is it? The Sidekicks? Is that the name of the group?
The Wingmen.
The Wingmen. That's what it is. I don't know. Yeah, another one of those weirdo groups. I do like JD Drake. I think he's really, really good in ring. I don't know about the character they got him running right now, but him in the ring, I like niggas that just be like beating niggas up, and that's what JD Drake. They just beating niggas up. I like that. Get right to it. Must be good. Let's see. Andrade had an interview with Jim Ross.
Now, this is my really big gripe with AEW. If y'all gonna give everybody and their mama a manager, give this man a manager. If you know he don't speak English that well, why are y'all doing this to him?
They did give him a manager. Isn't Vicky the manager?
But during his interview, he's talking to JR, and like his English is just not good enough to have just solely be an interview. Like, JR asked him about the titles, and he was like, "I'm gonna win one, then the other." It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, back to back? Like, what do you like? Like, it was clear that like it just wasn't like what they wanted to be. And like, I get it. You want to give him creative freedom and stuff. And I do like his character. Easily one of the sauciest guys on AEW already. I mean, it's not washing Kenny, washing Cody, like easily just like cool as doing the roster already. So like, and I definitely could see him and Miro having some bangers, him and like, Cody having some, he'll have good matches, but I was just watching it like, he needs someone to like, he needs Vicky to do his talking because he doesn't speak English well enough.
Or to even Tia Trinidad, he might as well. She ain't, you know what I mean? She's
might
home.
True.
Look, make the call, and maybe that's in the plans. I don't know. There's rumors about Aleister Black, Tommy End possibly ending up in AEW. I think Meltzer said something in like one of his mail bags about like,
oh goodness,
it's like an 80% chance or some shit like that. I don't know. Don't quote me, but so
I don't
we'll
want to
see.
see Aleister Black lose to Cody Rhodes. I don't want to see that, man. He deserves better than that. Because you know that's happening. Cody Rhodes is gonna no sell a Black Mass. He's gonna no sell a Black Mass. And then hit him with the pedigree of one.
Hey, bro! If Cody no sells the Black Mass, I'll never watch AEW again. I swear to God, I'll quit the podcast right now. I'm not doing this. I'm not watching this shit.
He's going to no sell the shit out of a Black Mass. Not even hit the deck, like hit the ropes and bounce up. Man.
Julia Hart, Penelope Ford. I didn't put it on the docket, but they had a match. I didn't know Julia Hart was 19 years old. But then I looked at it like, you know,
in real life,
she's shoot 19 years old. That's what they said on commentary, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right, AEW, you're pushing it off. Like you're pushing it, bro.
So interesting. Only note I have for this match was it wasn't good.
The cheerleader gimmick is weird. It's like very strange.
No,
she's not like.
I like that. You know, I like it. I like it for the Varsity Blondes. I don't know about like a cheerleader gimmick by itself, but with Varsity Blondes, I think it added just like that extra, just whatever Varsity Blonde needed, it was right there with a cheerleader.
Let me rephrase that. The cheerleader in ring work, it does not, is weird. The character is fine. The like the pom like move set is like, is this supposed to be like hurting them or like getting like the crowd riled up? I'm unsure what you're doing here.
Well, she's a cheerleader, so she can get the crowd riled up.
But I guess in my mind, I'm also thinking of like the Spirit Squad who are like in cheerleaders in name, but also like would just wrestle too. And so I'm expecting her to be like Dolph Ziggler in that way, but she's actually a cheerleader. But I think I didn't realize they were shooting her as 19. That's weird. That's some weird shit.
So there's a reoccurring theme on this show for some reason where I have to constantly know how old people are. So let me see how old she actually is. Yeah, she's 19. She's born 2001. She was born after 9/11. That is disgusting.
Oh my!
I hate it here.
Oh my God, I'm old. I'm so
old. That is gross. Born after 9/11. I wouldn't even talk to anybody outside my daughter. I'm not talking to nobody.
How is she already arrested? Oh my God!
It's 2001, November something, 2001. On the other side of the spectrum, Vicky Guerrero's wrestling.
No,
for some reason,
I won't accept this.
She said,
I just won't.
Look,
I'm not doing this.
It's gonna be Britt Baker and Rebel, not Reba, against Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. I guess. I don't know.
Why? Who wanted that? Who wanted that?
There's certain things that AEW does, and I question who asked for this. And one of those things, but outside of this, who asked for QT Marshall? No one asked for QT Marshall to be on the TV screen. I didn't ask for that. Did you ask for that?
True.
Did you want to see QT Marshall? Nobody wants to see. I don't think the AEW like biggest fans want to see QT Marshall on their TV screen. Sometimes this is what I was talking about. AEW just does shit to just do shit. No one's asking for Vicky Guerrero. Like y'all got a women's roster, a promising women's roster. You got Jade Cargill sitting back there. You got Chris
talking about
Statlander.
monetizing herself. If you don't get her in the goddamn ring, like what the fuck?
I think she's been working. She's been working at Elevation recently. I think which is probably better just to get some reps in.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, but you got all those girls in the back. You got Abaddon sitting back there, who probably like your coolest looking female worker. You don't even
character's crazy. Yeah.
You barely put her on TV for some weird reason. She's right there for you. Hikaru Shida, fucking what's homegirl named Riho moved to America. Yeah, she put her on TV 2 times. She's even back.
What's the girl, the Brazilian girl, Katani? Yeah. All these women, yeah. You put Vicky Guerrero
on my TV. Come on,
Excuse me.
This is why NXT keeps telling y'all they got the best women's division in the world, because they wouldn't do no bullshit like this.
Beth Phoenix don't even wrestle no more. Beth Phoenix can really wrestle.
Yeah, Beth Phoenix can still go.
She still go. I mean?
Like, this would be like if they put like fucking
Stephanie in the ring again.
Stephanie back in the ring or some shit. Like, I don't know.
Stephanie not wrestling on SmackDown. Like, she don't do that no more.
All right. Let's finish up on AEW real quick. Do you have any early predictions on Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy?
As with 90% of all AEW Kenny Omega matches, Jungle Boy will get close. And then Luchasaurus will somehow try and fight the Young Bucks. And still, Kenny will prevail. and defeat the Jungle Boy. I think Jungle Boy is kind of in that same role as like Darby Allin, where it's like they're just not. He is a star, but he's not gonna get over Kenny right now. He's just not one of the people that Kenny's gonna jump the title to. Like
Also,
it's just not realistic.
You got to
Like,
remember, Jungle Boy's really young. He's only like, I think he's like 23 or something.
Yeah, he's young. I know that. Yeah.
So like they got plenty of time with this dude. They don't have to give him the belt now. But it is, I think me and Cyrus have talked about this a couple of times. They're very stop-start with him though, which I don't like. I think it hurts him because like they'll like start pushing him and they'll have him on TV because they like clearly Jurassic Express is like one of the most over acts in AEW, and then they just like off Dynamite for like months for no reason. It was very strange. Like they'll heat them up and then they'll just like take them off TV. They did it. They've done it like 2 times already, and it's
got too hot.
Yeah, they like. I know like people always complain about WWE. Like when people get too hot, they try to like cool them down. But AEW kind of does it a lot too. Like low key, they do. They've done it with Hangman, and they've done it with with Jurassic Express. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. I think also like one thing that AEW's also got to figure out is that like we talk about swaggerless. Kenny Omega is swaggerless. Like it's honestly kind of criminal how like when he talks is like you are so like why are you talking to like Jungle Boy is half Kenny Omega's size and like he couldn't intimidate him to save his life. Like he couldn't threaten him in any way that felt believable or like any of the things he was saying. It was like I have a knuckle sandwich for you at a picnic. It's like Kenny, what are we doing here, bro? What happened here, bro?
Like it's been known for years that Kenny's mic work has been lacking. So it's very interesting that almost all of his work is like character work now since he's been champion. And I have not really enjoyed Kenny Omega's run as much as I thought I was going to. It just I don't know. It's just not hitting for me right now.
It's like you said, it's really too cheesy. Much character, it's too cheesy. Much talking. Yeah.
It's very cheesy. It's like he sounds like a bad 80s like action thriller fucking like villain.
It's very Expendables. It's giving a lot of like Roberts, like Sylvester Stallone.
Some straight to DVD bullshit. Like
it's like a lot of telling and not showing. It's like you saying how cool you are, how tough you are, but like you wrestle like once a month. So like how cool are you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. But outside of that, this is out of all the Friday night episodes of Dynamite, I think I've enjoyed this one the most out of all the other ones. I wasn't bored watching this.
No.
A problem I do have with AEW is I usually enjoy the first hour way more than the second hour, and this was kind of the same. I definitely enjoyed the first hour more than the second hour, but it's not bad. And I think the Saturday night episode is looking to be like it should be fun. I feel like they're putting a little more effort into that episode. So
yeah.
We're gonna check it out. So me and Cyrus have to suffer through 2 episodes of Dynamite this next week somehow. They got a Saturday episode and a Wednesday episode. So
turn up.
We're gonna see how that goes. Shit, Cyrus might not even come back.
He said I'm good. I'm free.
It might just be me. All right, but let's get to NXT.
Kushida being decimated. Roderick Strong. What's he doing out here though?
So, Adam Cole starts off the show talking about, look, y'all gonna tell me to wrestle, but I ain't wrestling. I'm Adam Cole. And then Carmelo Hayes comes out with a nice little tribute to the Kurt Angle, John Cena.
Yep.
Little angle.
Ruthless aggression.
The old ruthless aggression. I like Carmelo Hayes, man. I do. I think he looks good. I don't know anything about. I used to be really into the indies when I was like when I was in high school, or like that golden
when you
era.
Had time. He had time for that kind of shit.
Yeah, like that golden era of like when Bryan and like
Ring of Honor was hidden.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Cesaro and all them were all out there. You could probably catch me in the crowd at a couple of ROH shows, low key.
Nice.
But so I don't know about the indies now, but I've heard the name Christian Casanova previous to this, and I saw that he was signed. I saw people had really high regard for him as a worker, and it shows. The match with Kushida as well as this match with Adam Cole. I'm a little concerned. I will say this much. Add with it's the Zoe Stark situation again, where we're like, yeah, we know you're a good wrestler, but why should we care? I don't want that to happen to Carmelo. I'm gonna call him Carmelo Anthony, Carmelo Hayes. I'm afraid that like they're gonna do that again, and I don't want that to happen to him.
Yeah, I like
the potential
because first and foremost, I'm rooting for everybody black. So anytime I see a black wrestler on screen, I'm to the moon.
That's my guy.
That's my guy. I will say you could definitely tell he was like keyed up. Like when his promo started, he was like really like going for it. And even Adam Cole was like, "Hey guy, like relax, like reel it in a little bit, my guy." Hey, but like you could tell he's just amped up. Yeah, dude could definitely work. And I definitely think that is an NXT kind of like problem where like they waver back and forth between like sometimes they make guys have a very kind of WWE trajectory of like we'll have these vignettes and promos and he'll start with these matches and build the character slowly but surely, maybe throw in a faction. But then sometimes they go swing the complete opposite direction where it's like if you know indie wrestling, you know who this person is. But if you don't, you really don't give a fuck, and we're not really gonna tell you who the fuck they are. Like we're just gonna like how you said, like Zoe Stark, just like she is important, but like we're just gonna tell you she's important. You just have to like believe it or go do your own research. But we're not really gonna like show you. Like that's one thing I was thinking about like AEW, how they get into like the records or the history of this wrestler, like talk about like even with the Jake Hager thing, it was dumb to show those clips, but they had clips of him doing other things. Be like, no, he can really fight. Let me show you. Whereas with like Carmelo and like Zoe and a lot of these other indie guys, even with Kushida to a certain extent, it's like, no, this guy was a really big deal, bro. Believe me.
Believe,
like,
trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. I'm telling you. It's like, okay, but like I don't watch fucking New Japan. I don't know. Like, so you have to really like, spoof, especially now that it's on USA and it's on like prime time. It's not on the network where I think it was easier to be more niche. Because like if you have the WWE network, you probably do watch or at least follow with some of this Ring of Honor and others TNA stuff. So like that means more to you. But like if you don't, it's like harder to keep up with.
Yeah. So best of luck to Carmelo Hayes. I like him. Adam Cole obviously wins the match. Good match. Looks like Adam Cole and it could be Adam Cole and Kyle at a Great American Bash in 2 weeks.
I know like they don't want to, and I like, you know what, stay down in Florida, be happy, live your life. But I do feel sometimes like there is a logjam of some of these like older NXT guys, and like I just wish one of them would come up and like kind of burst that bubble. Like with Gargano, Cole, Ciampa, Dunn. It's like I just feel like right now they're kind of all in the same main events. Probably you can't really do much else with them but have them fight each other, which is interesting. They're gonna have good matches, but like I do just want to see them face different people. Like I would like to see Pete Dunne on SmackDown, like dealing with that kind of stuff. I just think he would be interesting. He's clearly ready, but I just wish they could have like different opponents at this point.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be Roderick Strong, but by the end of the episode, clearly not.
Diamond Mine.
We're going to get to that. But yeah. My fear with Johnny Gargano ever getting called up is that I think I talked about it on the Spaces a couple of days ago. Like, you remember when they were him and Ciampa were on that episode of SmackDown? And they were standing next to the bar, and the bar made them like
small
children.
Mad small, dog.
And I was like, you want me to take these guys serious? I guarantee you Vince saw that and said, fuck no, I ain't bringing these niggas up, bro. Vince saw that and said, hell no.
It was like if Sheamus bro kicks him, he might die. he might kill him, dog. He might punch a hole through his chest, dog.
I'm pretty good about like dispensing like belief. And I was like, no, this doesn't even look. The optics don't even look good in the situation. Like,
because also like it's funny because like with someone like Finn Balor is like small, but he's like super cut.
Yeah.
Whereas like Ciampa is cut but has these tiny legs, and then Gargano just looks like a 12-year-old. So it's like they don't even look old and like scary. They look like some kids.
And I think Balor, at least he's a little bit taller. I think I don't know how tall he is, but Gargano is probably like 5'7".
But yeah, little
5'8". I don't think Ciampa's much taller.
No,
and I think I've seen Ciampa in person. I'm 6 foot. I had a couple inches all over him. So yeah, I do agree that I thought initially I thought the mid card was pretty jam packed, but it's kind of shifted out a little bit. There's still a lot of guys doing nothing. It's funny because I was asking where the hell Tyler Russ has been, but once again, we gonna get to that. But like, there's a couple guys that like, what are these guys doing? But I feel like the mid card they kind of figured it out. Kind of spread shit out. Now it seems like the main event's kind of just like, what's Pete Dunne do now?
Right, exactly. He's gonna get beat up by Walter again. Like, I don't want to see that.
Or like, what's
Kyle O'Reilly do after this? Like, what? Like, because also like we're talking about with the cruiserweights, I'm sure those cruiserweights, some of them will fill out the big card. So it's like, is Kyle O'Reilly gonna face Bronson Reed? Like, is he gonna try and go to the cruiserweight? Like, where are we going with Kyle O'Reilly?
A lot of questions that me and Cyrus often ask with NXT. Like, okay, what now?
Yeah,
what now with these guys? Because they got a lot of. They have so many people. They need to let some people out. Like, let some of them. I keep saying it every week. Let some of these women go, man. You don't need to hurt like Triple H. You don't need to hurt all these women.
Yeah, Io can go.
Io can go. Tegan Knox can go.
Tony Storm can go.
Like, you got people that can like look. Get them out of here. I think Kaylee Ray might end up on NXT America soon.
Yeah,
that's what's crazy. She did everything in UK at this point. There's nothing else she can do down there.
Yeah, there's the NXT UK people where it's like, oh yeah, eventually like Walter's probably gonna come over. Like at some point they're gonna want Walter over here. Yeah. Like that's crazy to even think about.
We'll see about Walter because his whole thing for not signing was that he didn't want to leave. He didn't want to live in America in the first place. So, but we'll see. You know what I mean?
The Saudi princes, man, be talk. Man. They said the same thing about HBK, but the bag was talking.
That bag was talking. He ain't lying.
The bag was yelling, man.
But let's see. But outside of that, what else happened? Let's see. Robert Stone Brand versus Zoe Stark and Io Shirai. So the match was whatever. It was fine. It was a great way to bring Io back onto the show, into the division. But more important was, the post-match, which involved Dakota Kai and Raquel clearly upset that they had just lost their belts. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. And then Io Shirai and Zoe Stark, I guess, are now a team, at least for the time being. They all want the tag belts, and it looks like next week it's gonna be a triple threat match between those three teams, which I think is gonna be a banger. I'm assuming that'll probably be the main event. That's gonna be a hell of a match.
Shotzi gonna kill herself. She's gonna do some wild shit. I already know. Of
course,
sacrifice the body. Sacrifice the body
for us. The women's tag team division I'll say this much, it's going a lot better than the main rosters.
You're not a Mandy Dana fan? That's not doing it for you?
I do like the Sexy Muscle Friends, actually. I like that. I like that team, actually. I ain't gonna hold you. I like that. I wish it would go by that name. That's the name I'm calling them. I don't care.
It's funnier. It's just lean into it. That's exactly
a great name. Sexy Muscle Friend. That was Oscar's a genius. That was a perfect name for them. What do you think about the tag division? What's going on?
I like the wrestlers. Like, these are all unquestionably good wrestlers. And I think what the next step for the women's tag division is, you have to start having women that come up purely as tag teams, because it does get a bit kind of odd when every single tag team is really just two solo competitors put together. Like, that was one of the things about the Iconics that was nice, was like they were a tag team. Like, that was what they were. Like, the Riot Squad on some level was always a tag team, or a fact, like they were always together.
When they were on the main roster, they came in as a team.
Yeah. So it was cohesive at first, at least. And so I think that is the next thing in the tag divisions, that like, you're gonna have good matches, it's gonna be interesting, like the feud will be fine. But like, I think what helps tag teams is like the kind of togetherness of their story. Like with MSK, like part of their like appeal is that they are a tag team. They came in together, their gear matches, their entrances are together. They have like tag team movesets. Like, the fear of them just randomly not being a tag team anymore isn't there, because that happens a lot of times too, where it's like these random people just stop being friends after a couple of weeks. So I think that's kind of the next step.
To be fair, Raquel and Dakota have been a team for a long time, as have Loki, Ember, and Shotzi been a team for a minute too. It's been at least 6 months. But I do understand what you're saying, because obviously eventually Shotzi and Ember are going to split separate ways. Same thing with Raquel and Dakota. It's only a matter of time for somebody.
Hopefully sooner.
Somebody.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
So? Hey,
I think Dakota needs that belt.
I think Dakota needs to go to SmackDown, which I've been saying for like a year now. She needs to go to SmackDown.
True.
She needs to get out of here.
Yeah.
Another one. She's another one that can go. Unless they're gonna give her the main belt, don't waste her time. Just send her to SmackDown, bro.
Please.
Because what the hell Bailey about to do?
Wrestle Carmella, I'm sure, because that seems to happen once every 3 weeks.
I guess. Oh, I lost my page. What's next on the docket?
The
The
way.
Way against Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan. I think this was it wasn't the match of the night, but second best. It was a really impressive match. I love that little spot Austin Theory does, the little like springboard, little stupid Spanish fly, which I hate that move in general, but I thought it was a little cool little move. It's the second time he's done it. Gargano went crazy this match. This is like baby. This was like
Johnny
DIY.
Wrestling.
This was DIY Gargano. This is Johnny Wrestling. This was
Rebel Heart.
Yeah, it was a Rebel Heart Johnny. It seemed like low key because I tweeted it. I was like, NXT loves doing heel versus heel matches for some weird reason. They love doing it. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's so weird, but like it seemed like they were kind of like baby facing a little bit, not all the way, but like they were like, damn, we need somebody to wrestle Cross. We can have Gargano do it. And but they probably figured, look, if we put him against Cross, they're gonna cheer Gargano regardless. So we might as well just like, at least kind of baby face him up a little.
Build it up. Build it up. Especially because they're conversely, they're gonna boo Karrion. So you might as well lean into it, have it be pure like white meat, baby face, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling. Also, I think the Austin Theory element does make it interesting. Like he's definitely not a great talker yet, but he's like super athletic and like he can like work. I think like you could have some interesting spots with like him and Karrion, like just kind of outside the ring type shit. So and also like I don't know if does Scarlett still wrestle? Does she do that anymore?
I think she like since I've seen her, I think she's taken like one bump.
Okay, as I was saying. So I would say you could have Candice and her kind of like you had when you had Andrade and Donnie. You had like this Zelina Vega Candice stuff too. Like you could have something similar to that could be kind of interesting. So I definitely think it's got a nice, couple months storyline potential to it. But again, like we were saying, like honestly, Karrion more than Johnny probably needs to be on the main roster. So like I don't know if they're gonna have him just give up the title because he doesn't want it, or how they're gonna get it off him. If Johnny will like beat him somehow. But I do think that is kind of where we're going. Is definitely like a long feud with Johnny and Karrion, inevitably ending up with Karrion making Johnny fall asleep somewhere.
Cross getting embarrassed out there in that ring. You wrestling Gargano, look, can't lace that man's boots. Come on, bro.
You hate it, but that's just what the belt says, that Karrion's champion. So you have to respect him.
You got a guy.
He's that guy.
Let's see, and our main event of the night. Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly. See, this is what you were talking about. Like, they didn't really speak on Kyle O'Reilly and Kushida's hit. They kind of did, but it was very brief. Yeah, it was like for like a second. Like, these guys got all the fucking history in the world, which I think they could have built on. But it was one of those like, hey, if you know, you know. But if you don't know, then
you don't know.
Oh well.
Yeah, because it was also like they made a very clear point of being like, this is not for the title. This is important for another reason. Yeah. We're not going to tell you what that other reason is. It's like, well, what is it? Like, this is a dream match. It's like, whose dream? I've never dreamed of this match. Right? Like, what are you talking about?
I've seen this at Wrestle Kingdom already. It's already happened. But yeah, man, great. I mean, it's what you expect from Kyle O'Reilly and Kushida. They're gonna these guys know each other so well. They're both fantastic in the ring. I have noticed that NXT's really been pushing kind of like the technical guys like hard. A lot of super technical wrestling going on at NXT. I don't know if that's what they're kind of going for now or what. Because it's very much the opposite of what AEW does. AEW goes full on entertainment, full on entertainment, much shit they can throw in there, and then NXT come more like definitely they kind of going back to the kind of old school kind of ways, the old school kind of booking.
I think NXT goes through almost like not thematic changes, but like there's like times in the roster, like you said, it's very technical heavy. There's times in the roster is very like, more so like these bigger, larger life characters. Like there was a run where it was like Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre. So it's like they go through these kind of runs where it's like different kind of what they want for the roster. Looks different. The roster is like leans heavier heel, leans heavier baby face. Like it definitely seems like as a roster, things will kind of shift one way or the other. So maybe like you said, that is where they're going. Even like we're saying, at the end of this with the whole diamond mine thing, that seems like that's that whole gimmick too, is like we're technical fighters, type guys.
They got Thatcher and Ciampa going against MSK. So like they definitely is a theme going on. But we can get into Diamond Mine.
In the match, Kushida's in the ring doing whatever, and then out of nowhere,
because Adam Cole jumps Roderick Strong.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So they fight to the outside, and then we get to you see Roddy in the hooded Roddy, and I was scared. Like me and Cyrus genuinely thought like, yo, did he actually retire? Is he done? Because I mean, he's been wrestling for a long time. Maybe he got like a little like a backstage role or something like that. But it was all look. If you would have asked me a bajillion times what Diamond Mine was, Roddy wouldn't even have crossed my mind, which is crazy because it makes sense.
Yeah,
now that I see it.
with Malcolm Bivens too, of all people, it's like wow.
Yeah,
it was right there.
It's crazy. It
was right there, and I didn't see it.
Dog, me and Cyrus literally just talking about this like 2 weeks ago. Like, where the hell has Malcolm Bivens been? Like, where's Rustin Bivens at? And then there they go. They're right there. I don't know who the other guy was. Do you know who the other guy was?
The East Asian guy?
Yeah, no. I don't know who that guy was, but
because they haven't really like the only East Asian males they've had in my knowledge are Kushida and Bo. Like I can't even think of anyone who's been on TV besides those two who could even that's like a job. I can't even think of them. So I don't know. I'm sure they'll do some like intro thing next week about it. Hopefully.
Shout out to Boa for finally getting a match.
Hey, Jake Atlas, Pride Month. We're here.
It's Team Pride. That's Team Pride right there.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, but man, I'm happy to see Roddy back. Yeah. Looks good. I'm happy he got some rest.
It is funny how like he came back with now he's leading his own faction. Like he was like the fourth on totem pole. He's like, I'm Adam Cole now. I'm gonna show you guys.
I'm that dude now. Look, what do you think this is? Speaking of fourth guy in this year, where the hell is Bobby Fish at?
Now Bobby Fish might really be retired.
He was on TV. He was punching a punching bag deal last week. But I mean, outside of that, what do they do with like another question of what do they do with this guy? What is Bobby Fish about to do? And do we care?
Bobby Fish is about to help Kyle O'Reilly against Adam Cole, and they're gonna become a tag team again, and they'll go do what they do best. Like that's. I don't think they have any plans for Bobby Fish. Even when he was in Undisputed Era, he was like. Just like the least interesting one.
He wasn't there half the time.
Yeah, he was hurt a lot. So I think that I don't see him doing anything with by himself. I think he'll get back. Maybe he'll get back with Adam. With one of them. Maybe he'll join Diamond Mine. Maybe we'll get Diamond Mine versus Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish in an Undisputed Era reunion.
Well, I mean, from what it looks like Roddy wants that cruiserweight belt, which is interesting. It kind of adds into what the Fightful article was talking about. Look, They said they got big surprises and big angles for the cruiserweight division.
There you go.
You can't get much bigger than that. I mean, Kushida and Roddy are gonna have a fucking. If that match happens, that's gonna go crazy, bro. I don't know if you know this, but like Roderick Strong is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I've been a fan of Roderick Strong since like Generation Next back in ROH. Like I've been rocking with Roderick Strong for a long time. Last Ring of Honor show I went to, I forgot what show it was. I just remember it was him versus Joe. Fantastic. I wish I could remember the damn name of the show. It was like I think it might have been Glory by Honor. I don't remember.
The Ring of Honor names be so ridiculous.
It was
like to the honor. Like
yeah,
what?
It was some dumb shit, but it was like I think it was 2007. I was definitely still in high school, and yeah, man, I've been a big Roderick Strong fan. Well, I remember I used to have the No Remorse Corps, which is like a group he was in like way back. I used to have the T-shirt. That shit went hard. Damn. But yeah, man, like I've been a big fan of Roderick Strong for a long time. So any kind of push he gets, I'm all in.
You're here for it?
I'm here for it, man. But get these quick hits real quick. The Great American Bash card is shaping up. We got a couple matches announced. Thatcher and Ciampa versus MSK for the tag team championships.
Banger.
Do you keep it on MSK?
Yeah, two very different styles. I think MSK, and then we'll probably keep it. I wouldn't be surprised if MSK does eventually lose it to Ciampa and Thatcher. I just don't think it'll be in their first match together. I could see them having like some type of steel cage match, something with like a stip, and then losing in like that type of match. Like I think like Ciampa and Thatcher are like, in my opinion, two of like the most interesting people in all of NXT, especially Thatcher. Like I wouldn't be surprised, this is my personal opinion, if Thatcher takes the title off Walter, like eventually, if that's where that goes. But I think Thatcher's like massive. Like I like the way people feel about Matt Riddle. That's how I feel about Thatcher. And so I do think they could definitely get the title off them.
You know who my guy is in NXT that I think is highly underrated? Zach Gibson. I think Zach Gibson is so good.
Grizzled young veterans soon. That shit is hard, bro. That's so hard.
No, I love Zach Gibson, man. I didn't know anything about him until he signed on to the UK tournament.
Me neither. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. I just knew he was hated and they're taking his shoe off. I was like, yeah, I fuck with this guy already. I don't know what he did to the UK fans to hate him that much, but look, I ain't never hated a nigga that much when I took my shoe off at him.
That's a heel.
That's
a heel
crazy.
for your ass.
That's literally a heel.
It's heat.
What else happened? Those more quick hits. Let's see. Frankie Monet versus Electra. Shout out to Electra Lopez. I don't know who that was. But
hey, man.
Hey.
Look. Hips don't lie.
First of all, her name. If that was like any 2000s like straight to DVD movie and like the main lead woman, her name would be Electra Lopez. That definitely would be her fucking name.
Yep.
I guess. I don't know. I don't really remember anything about this match. I think I was like making some food or something, but
it was
it
was like kind of squash adjacent.
Yeah.
Like it was a little longer, but it would just make Frankie Monet look good.
Yeah. How do you feel about Frankie Monet? What did they do with her?
This is like very problematic of me, but I do have like an automatic aversion to like the buff blondes that Vince promotes. But I do think Frankie Monet is different, so I am wanting to give her a shot. But my initial response is like, another Natalia, like we really gonna do this again? Like, oh my goodness. But I do like her moveset. I do like the powerhouse woman moveset. Like I like how she wrestles. So I think that's a good, variation to add to the women's division. I think like she can definitely be champion. I mean, I don't know what the whole thing with like Morrison, if she wants to be on Raw sooner, right? Like I don't know like how that, because I don't like to keep couples together. So I don't know how that's gonna work once Tori and shit starts. But
I thought it was weird that he can go straight to Raw like in the beginning. I thought that was just gonna be I thought that was very interesting that they just sent her to NXT. Maybe it was by choice. Maybe she wanted it, like requested it, but like.
Yeah, she definitely gets more shine on NXT. Like she'll definitely on Raw. Like it would be hard for her to get like time, especially because they have like Alexa Bliss, they have the tag team titles and the women's Raw titles. So like
they got Charlotte, what I mean,
Charlotte is her own.
Possibly Becky coming back. Like they got a lot of stuff going on Raw. So.
Yeah, she might want to duck it for a while. Not dumb.
There's a lot because you might not get a lot of time sitting over there. And outside of that, like we already stated, Tian Sha, Boa, and Xia Li will wrestle. Jake Atlas and Connecticut's own Mercedes Martinez.
Rugged and rugged.
You know what I mean? So
I love Tian Sha. I think like that gimmick, that entrance is so cool to me. Like I love all that. Like I said, I want to be entertained. I love all the like monster, like warrior lifestyle shit. So like I'm so into this. I'm so excited. I want to see her like force throw Martinez off the top of the Performance Center. Like I want like death by 1,000 cuts. Like I really want this to go like vicious. So like I'm here for whatever they're about to do.
Yeah, it's cool because like NXT doesn't usually do stuff like that, so it definitely stands out. And like they kind of did it with Karrion Kross initially. Like it kind of felt
they gave it up. Yeah,
they're like, nah, let's not do that. Which they probably should have. I might be more interested in them if they just kept it that way, but.
They tried to do that Aleister Black too. They would do the thing with the lights where they would cut on and he would be there.
Yeah, the teleport joint. That was fire. Like, I like that. They should kept doing that.
It was good, but
that was fire.
Doing it. They were like, no, he's not actually of the devil. He's from New Zealand. It's like, okay. But like it was kind of cool when I thought he was kind of like of the devil.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone said cut that out. We ain't doing that. But that's it for tonight, man. Channing, thank you for showing up.
Thanks for having me.
Come back anytime. You already know y'all family, everybody. Anybody from Rewriters Room want to pull up?
Definitely.
You're welcome to come. This is it from me. My name is Quan again. You can follow me at the Comeback Spot. Chan, go ahead and plug whatever you got to plug, bruh.
Rewriters Room, as always. Same thing on Instagram, Twitter at Grandpa Chan, aka McDreamy. Follow me. I tweet about wrestling, The Bachelor, all things entertainment. We have a good time. But these are all jokes. It's not serious.
I need to get on The Bachelor. I'm gonna watch the last season.
This season, This season is straight because it's like they went for the more like normal girl route, but it's picking up. The drama's starting to pick up.
Okay, all right, I gotta get on that. My reality show choice is the challenge. I'm a big challenge.
Oh,
fan.
I love the challenge.
I'm all in. Oh, we gotta talk.
CT did it again, man. He did it again.
My guy, man.
My God. The GOAT did it again.
That's my guy, bro. But yeah, thank you again for coming in, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. That's fun.
Look out for me and Cyrus next week. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about his trip, his birthday, what's going on. We got 2 episodes of Dynamite we got to watch. We got NXT. What's going on the Patreon? I don't even know. You know what's going on?
The Invasion Diaries.
The Invasion Diaries. I love them. You know, my favorite part is just talking about what's going on at the time, like the pop culture.
So crazy. Yeah.
It's so much fun just like reminiscing on that, because like that was the time where I like 2000, 2001 is when I really first got into wrestling. So like that's like
that's my favorite storyline.
Yeah,
that's my favorite of all stuff. Time.
Like I probably, if I watched it now, I probably wouldn't feel that way. But like at the time when I was, 11 years old, I thought
I legitimately thought like, oh, like WWE might die tomorrow. Like if they lose this match, the company's over.
This is over. When Stone Cold turned, no, when I woke up that morning, I found out Stone Cold turned on the WWF. I was like, I was heartbroken. I can't believe he did that.
Why would he do us like this? Turn
like
on everything Vince has done for him.
Oh my goodness, man. But man, check out Patreon. We got spot callers. Rewriters Room come. Are you allowed to say what's coming up next, or no? We keeping that.
Oh no, we got stuff coming down the pipe. Yeah, we're coming back. Especially
the police is coming already. I brought up the wrong word.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, just be on the lookout. We got a lot of stuff going on. Shout out to the Lookout. Go follow the Lookout too. The Lookout podcast. I think they got the Kame House coming out. They got talking about what the hell are they talking about? I don't even remember. I think they're doing like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're doing something. No, they're doing Cowboy Bebop. That's what they're doing.
Oh, cool.
So I never watched it. All my friends did when I was a kid, but that's another story for another time. Y'all have a great day, night, whenever y'all listen to this, and we'll catch you next week.
All right. Peace.
Slide on that back of ride, yeah. Bet they start acting right, yeah. Why did they suit and tie, yeah.
Oh, I got a spooky side, yeah. Funny thing in this biz, they said we wouldn't stand a chance.
The last ones that felt that way.
Woke their ass up in the ambulance. Hit maker's head, and you know we mean business. All up in your face and your grill like a dentist. Who we Frank Bree, we a menace like Dennis. Got more bars than a lifetime sentence. Yeah, we old school, some people say vintage. On the beat float like the city named Venice. Oh, you wanna start running your mouth? Beat 'em up, knock 'em out, top 'em out, pin 'em.